good afternoon to you all. As I'm gonna try to speak as diligently as possible. Where the fuck is my headphones? There they go. Okay, and something happened to my screen. Um, but hi, welcome everyone to my Pokemon live stream, and this is going to be session one's live stream. For those who don't know exactly what was going on, yesterday I just wasn't feeling well, and I decided to do the smart thing, and after spending about an hour sleep, um, I decided to go ahead and just cancel the live stream. So I am going to redo that live stream right now. All right. So yeah, I forgot I have to like post on like 15 different social medias just to make sure people know. I mean, hell, if people come, they come. I'm gonna go ahead and start the run. So let's go ahead and move on into the other section. Where is it? Pokemon Emerald. I believe this Pokemon will have. There it goes. Alright. What is. Why is it not doing this here? Please tell me that this is not working. That you guys can feel it. You can hear it, but I can't hear it on my end. I'm gonna be so quick right now. If like you guys can see it and I can't. It should be. Oh, it's playing on this end, but it's not showing up on my end. Okay. So that makes little to no sense, but okay. So where is the game itself? Because we're just gonna go ahead and just use the game from this end. So yeah, we're gonna be playing Pokemon. We're gonna be playing Pokemon Emerald, and I saved already. Oh, you know what? I saved because I was in the middle of the game, and I saved the first moment. Okay, so that saves us some time, because then I have to deal with bullshit. But yeah, welcome to Pokemon Pokemon Leaf Green, because I'm not playing Fire Red. For all the reasons that I'm going to be talking about in the live stream series, is that there are a lot of changes between the games. For many of you who probably don't know, the games for Generation 3 did a homage to Generation 2. The Gen 1. And by doing that, they did a recap, if you will. Well, not a recap. They did a remake of Generation 1. They called it Fire Red and Leaf Green, which is what we'll be playing Leaf Green version. I'll talk about Fire Red, because it is a duo series. Kind of, it's just like the original games, Red and Green. Which is funny, because a lot of people ask, well, why did we not get a variation of the games that focused on Gen 1 overall? Well, the reason for that is simple. In Generation 1, the games were going to be red and green. I believe internationally they decided to go for red and blue, considering the fact that in the manga, green eventually was going to be the girl, and they wanted to pay homage to our releases initially, and then they decided, nah, we're gonna go ahead and just do red and green. So that's exactly what they did. So they went ahead and did red and green. Am I excited about that? Well, I never played Red, so I wouldn't. Well, I've played Red version. I've never got a chance to play Green version. And when this stuff happened, they did a lot of changes and everything to from what the original games were. Hold on one second. All right, lots of ands. There we use the F for C. And she fell a little better. All right. So hold on one second, everybody. I'm just trying to get this. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure that I got everything secure on social media. Did we take the potion yet? I don't think we did take the potion yet. We did not take the potion yet. Okay, so yeah. This is great. This is perfect because we are just now starting on the original. Just like the original games, they are going to have a potion in the system for you. Yeah, they did up it to Gen 3 style. We'll be able to get items from our box. The box has been separated from items in Pokemon. So, and of course you won't have any lag when you start moving stuff around. So be very thankful because the Gen 3 remakes of Gen 1 had some merit and purpose to them that did things better. So not all, because I don't like the fact that they did version exclusives for the game. And please tell me my controller is working. Okay, there it goes. So yeah, we got a whole lot of stuff I have to go through. But if you watch my Generation 3 live stream, if you play Generation 3, basically, you know, everything is a step up for the Generation 3 setup. You have color palettes, you have distribution through more buttons, you have different layouts, everything, and it just makes it a better experience of Gen 1. And some people's opinions. This is the key change for the game. If you're playing the female trainer, and see, this is why I should have started off. Right? You're playing the female trainer, and you come to this TV, it says, a movie is on TV about a girl with pigtails is walking up a brick road. I better get going. That is a reference to, you should remember the reference, Joe. That is a reference to The Wizard of Oz, because Dorothy had pigtails, and Dorothy was walking down a brick road. If you're playing the boy, of course, you get the Stand By Me reference, where the four boys are walking down the railroad track. And I believe they cut out the phrase of, from the mom, when you talk to her, it says, every young boy leaves on a journey. That's at least what TV told. That's at least what they told us. That's at least what they said on TV. Excuse me, that is, of course, the reference to Stand By Me. For the record, I didn't get, because I had never watched Stand By Me, so I wouldn't know. But it seems, yeah, there's a Stand By Me reference. So, what the hell is Best Buy? Oh, just to tell me they have some sales. Okay. Yeah, everybody's having sales because it's after Christmas. By the way, happy holidays, everybody. Or at least happy holidays to those who celebrate a lot of the holidays, because there are a lot of things that go on. We're going to go to Blue's house, because I do believe I named my, we named my room Blue. And then if we go to Oak's lab, I do believe that everyone here is there. Yeah, so I think there's just only one new addition, and that's this lady here. She is a new addition. First Oak may not look like much, but he is the authority on Pokemon. Many Pokemon trainers hold him in high regard. Yeah, it's basically just one of the many things that they renamed from the original game. A lot of the color palettes have changed. Of course, here's our rival. Here's Blue. And when you talk to him, he has blue wording. Blue in originally was supposed to be named Green, and they decided not to give him that. Internationally, they named him Blue to fit with the game and the rival of the original games for the international release, which was Red and Blue. Here in Leafgreen, Fire Red, if you go into the start menu and stuff, when you select your characters, they will ask you about the character that will be your rival, and if you're playing Leafgreen, then he'll have the names of either Ash, Red, and I forget what the other two are, but they're just miscellaneous names that I believe are based off of names of those who worked at Game Freak who worked on this game. So, yeah, a lot of big changes for Generation 1. Sorry, I forget, I mapped how things are mapped with my controller. You talk to this young lady here, she will move out the way, and she'll say, look, and it's actually trainer tips. But trainer tips, start opening the menu. Well, thank you for letting us know that. Talk to this trainer here, he says, the technology is incredible. You can now store and recall items and Pokemon in your PC data via PC. So, yeah. Results Research Lab. But yeah, welcome to Pallet Town, which got a beautiful makeover. As you can see, Pallet Town, the shade of your journey awaits. Many of the towns in Generation 1 are of course named after various palettes and colors. Pallet Town being the first one because a palette is basically what generates color, and where you go to generate your color. Another nuance is of course the field around you has a green like road. You see the trees and stuff also attached to it as well. It's just a beautiful reoccurrence of Generation 1, and I love it. We're gonna go ahead and do something a bit different. We're gonna do something a bit similar. We're gonna make sure Oak knows we're here. And with that, we are gonna run into Professor Oak, and he's gonna send us back to the lab just like they did in the original games. Sorry, I'm also eating, so I have to leave something on my stomach while I chat with you guys. But, yeah. Just like in the original games, we get to talk to Professor Oak. And while he seemingly forgets that he has a grandson, Oak's relationship with Blue/Green is very weird. But I think it's more so if I have to teach my grandson about things that are. So, if you're playing Generation 1 and you already know, from the left to the right, these are the Pokemon of your choice. We have Bulbasaur, the grass-type Pokemon. We have Squirtle, the water-type Pokemon. And we have Charmander, the fire-type Pokemon. So, as you can already tell, they have new sprites and models for them in terms of Generation 3. Of course, for this, I will be choosing Bulbasaur, but if you guys want some information about the other two. Squirtle, the tiny turtle Pokemon. Pure water type, very defensive, and has a great outstanding defensive capabilities. While this Pokemon's weaknesses are a fry, Squirtle's actually a pretty cool dude. And if you are a fan of water Pokemon and you're a fan of the water starters, Squirtle is your go-to. Charmander, who got a major upgrade in Gen 2 and onward in terms of his moveset. Charmander is pure fire type. It is the Kanto fire starter, and it is probably a big fan favorite among many of people. It's not my favorite fire starter. I have better options, and I'm not gonna lie about that. But yeah, this is the one that started it all, Mr. Charmander. And Charmander, as we all know, gets his version because of Charizard being one of the most popular fully evolved starter Pokemon. In terms of level of difficulty, if you're playing Generation 1, you know Bulbasaur will be easy because there are a lot of gyms and challenges that Bulbasaur will be very helpful for you throughout the road. Medium difficulty is been set to charm to Squirtle for those who know this, and Squirtle has a lot of mid qualities about it. Like, it's not a bad Pokemon, but you're in a generation where there are better water Pokemon. In my opinion, unless you're scarce for water types, I normally don't go for the water type Pokemon. I haven't had a generation within generations 1 and 2. No, Gen 2 I used my pick was either between Cyndaquil or Totodile because Chikorita was trash. Chikorita's still trash. Gen 3 had me all over the place because there was a chance of using either the fire type Torchic, the grass type Trico, and the adorable water type Mudkip. When that instead, it depended on which game you were playing, because you also have to remember in those games, in Gen 3's games, you have to also deal with the type specialized evil team. So if you're playing against Magma, it would be really hard for Torchic because of Maxi and the common mon for Team Magma being fire. It's supposed to be fire, but they use a lot of ground types. Primarily their head's ace is Camerupt, who is fire ground. So it's units of land. And if you're playing Sapphire, it's Archie, and Archie specializes in water types, primarily Sharpedo being his ace and Carvanha being spread throughout the ranks. So at that point, it's either Trico or Mudkip in a lot of those situations. But funny enough, because of the lack of fire types, you can easily manage with Trico as long as your team composition is actually pretty good. And to be very honest with you, it's not hard to play with Torchic, Trico, or Mudkip in Gen 3, because there's so many different things in Gen 3 that make it to where you don't feel bad about not choosing the other two. And if you have a friend, or you know, have Next Replay, you can get the other two starters and still enjoy the journey. There'll just be less hassle of having to look for particular Pokemon, because now you have grass type, and a fire type, and a water type all in your team at once, so you don't have to scarce for too many other options, except for HM Slave, the options of other Pokemon to check other types that your Pokemon won't be able to check, and then move pools and stuff like that. So, for me, in the instance, if this is yellow version, yes, I would be playing, I have Pikachu, and my rival would have Eevee, and then I would be playing the bases to have a Pokemon in terms of the lineup that I don't have to look for electric type, because I have Pikachu, but all my other Pokemon are going to fit into the lineup to help out. So with that said, Bulbasaur, you are going to be my ace. You're in my starter for this journey. Not my ace, but my starter. So alright, we have picked Bulbasaur. Do we like to name our Bulbasaur? Yes. Nicknames are now a thing, and of course you get this awesome screen from Gen 3. I wanted to name it Sorcerer. Sorcerer is a name reference to Red's Bulbasaur line, and the manga, because he started off, funny enough, he didn't start off with Bulbasaur, he actually started off with a Poliwhirl. Yeah, there's a lot of bases to cover at that within the manga, but for the most part the game does follow a lot of the key points in the manga, just that everything else is more relative to the game itself. And of course, like any other video game, and just like Generation 1, we are going to have a Pokemon battle with our rival right after we've gotten our starter. So, he chooses Charmander to go up against your grass type, Bulbasaur. So here we're going to go take a look at a couple of things. Professor Oak will point out the HP bar and the meter that represents your opponent, while also pointing out your stuff. So if you go here to the bag, yeah, he will tell you about Pokemon, and he'll tell you that you can easily check the stats of your Pokemon and what skills and abilities that your Pokemon has. So we're actually going to take a look at that now. In the Pokemon screen, you'll be able to see the name, the typing, and what number your Pokemon is listed in the Pokedex. You'll also have the trainer ID number and what item that Pokemon held, because that is a new addition to Kanto, is being able to hold items. Also, we have the nature being added as well. So the nature of this Bulbasaur is Bashful, which I believe is a neutral nature. Oh no, what's wrong with my screen? I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on with my computer, but there shouldn't be any problems. I'm gonna go ahead and run a bit of a scan in the background for it. It's like not understanding what's going on. I didn't leave my PC on. Do a full scan. Okay, so my PC is being fully scanned by my my PC is gonna be fully scanned by my virus protection software. But yeah, that is in place, and then you get to see the stats of your Pokemon. So Bulbasaur is pretty good in special attack, special defense, very low in speed. That sucks. Overgrowth Force ability, which means that it powers up grass type moves when it's low on HP. And then its attacks are Tackle and Growl. Tackle, 35 power, 95% accuracy, a physical attack move that is the user charging its full body into the foe. Growl, 0 power, and 100% accuracy. The user growls in a cute way, making the opponent lower their attack stat. So yeah, we just have a stat lowering move and a damage move on our Pokemon. All 3 starters will have it once you choose them. Charmander will have Scratch, but will have, I believe, Leer as its move for lowering a stat, which is defense. And Squirtle will have Tackle as well, but will have Tail Whack, which will lower the defense of a Pokemon. So those are how they pan out things here in the Pokemon menu. Here in the bag, you'll be able to use items during the battle. We have Pokeballs, key items, and then regular items. So you can use that to help your Pokemon. Here, we're going to use Growl to lower the attack of Charmander. The Charmander tends to be a very decent Pokemon. So, yeah, and here's Oak just telling you the different things about your Pokemon and stuff like that. And this is the relay battle of the remix of the Kanto battle theme, and you're facing off against trainers. Cool. Remember, Generation 2 and onward are the ones that gave the rival music track. Sadly enough, Generation 1 is keeping hold to its OG style and not giving the rival trainer any battle music, so the end. So the Generation 1 is key to battle. We're not going to use an item to heal. I'm surprised he hasn't done, oh there it goes. Keeping your eyes on your HP meter, which is 0. Right? So basically, yeah, Oak is just giving us the know-how of how to be a Pokemon trainer. I'm actually quite shocked that Green isn't using any of his, Blue. I'm shocked Blue isn't using any of his, Pokemon stat lowering moves. Because Bulbasaur has really good defenses, so I'm shocked he didn't lower my defenses. But we won, and we leveled up. After our Pokemon went battle, they didn't exchange, and they had a chance to level up. So, oh yeah, my special defense went up, my physical attack defense went up, and my speed went up a little. Alright. But that is Rival Blue. And every time you beat a trainer, you win money. Excellent. Yep. Wait, excuse me? Alright, and that is it. She leaves from there. So Professor Oak tells you Green when you have Pokemon in battle, when you grow. Yeah, and that's all that is to it. That was just the first little section there. Next up is actually we're gonna go back to our mom. We're gonna go to our house and check up on her. And now she'll become your quickest way of healing, unless you're not at a Pokemon Center. So yeah, mom heals your Pokemon and she tells you to take care, sweetie. Alright, and we can go ahead and leave. So yeah, I believe here it will say Green's house, so whatever name you name your trainer, will say that that's your house, and this will say whatever you name your rival's house. Also, that was Daisy Oak we talked to earlier. We'll talk to Daisy again. Now we're on Route 1, and we're going to talk to some of the NPCs. This NPC gives us a potion, because he is from the Viridian City Pokemon. He works there. As you can tell by his apron. You actually tell now with the NPCs, because of course another feature to this gen is that they up and fix a lot of the other stuff. This guy here says that you can easily get back to Palette by simply jumping over the ledges. Of course, we have our wild Pokemon encounter. So, just like in any RPG or in any Pokemon game, you always have random encounters with Pokemon. Whether it's on the overworld and you can see the Pokemon visually, or you run through a patch of grass and just throwing through your merry way, you will be encountering Pokemon. I will go over a particular Pokemon when I do get the chance, but in this area we have our Conmon, which are basically just Pidgey and Rattata. Rattata, whichever variation you want to, whichever name or phrase you want to call it. I know it is very weird for Rattata, because in the English dub of Pokemon and throughout the Pokemon series, they have always said Rattata. I've always called it Rattata, because that's just how I pronounce it, you know, potato situation. So I've never been told I was wrong, and no one has, you know, and even if the dub wants to proclaim how right it is in terms of Rattata, Rattata, it's whatever it wants to call it. Pokemon Centers here, they are like your ends in most RPGs. They are here to help heal your Pokemon from your team and heal them back up to strength. That over here is your PC. You can access it anytime, and just like in Generation 3, you're able to do something unique. The unique addition is that you're able to move your Pokemon, but for Fire Red, Leaf Green, and Emerald and onward, you're able to move items. So you're able to move items that are attached to your Pokemon, whether they're in your party or not. When it comes to moving Pokemon, I want to move Pokemon because I like using Pokemon for sure. You can deposit Pokemon here, you can withdraw Pokemon and put them into your party via such. In here you have 14 boxes where you can store all of your Pokemon. You can go into the menu here and it says jump, wallpaper, and name. You can name the box in which your Pokemon will be held. You can go to the background and use different scenery to change the background of the Pokemon. Of the box. And jump allows you to move from one box to another with ease, just like that. Don't worry, they make this feature a lot easier in later games. In some games, outright just have you carry your your box, instead of having to go to a PC. So yeah, there's a lot of benefits, a lot of downsides to it. But yeah, that's your Pokemon Center. There's always a Pokemon Center in most towns. If not, they have some type of restoration point, like an inn or something. This is the Pokemon Mart. This is all items you need are filled here, and they are normally carried with the blue symbol. We're actually here, ironically enough, because this train, we walk in, this particular clerk will give you an item in this Oak's parcel, and we need to go give Professor Oak his parcel. I've got to buy some potions. I never know when my Pokemon needs a quick heal. This shop does good business with antidotes, I've heard. Yeah, so also another feature is men and women NPCs, female and male NPCs. Male NPCs dialect will be blue. Female NPCs will have a red or a pinkish dialect, pinkish wording to their dialect. I'm gonna say red. I most likely think it should have been pink, or it might be pink, but I have colorblind issues, so excuse me. That's the thing. Going up here, you will also encounter the old man who refuses to get up. My grandpa. Oh, Grandpa, don't be so mean. Sorry about that. Okay, it seems my PC is perfectly fine. So I don't know what's going on. Sorry, my grandpa hasn't had his coffee yet. I absolutely forbid you from going there. This is private property. Yeah, so the old geezer is kind of being a boomer. He doesn't want nobody to move. Essentially, it's because, like his granddaughter said, her grandpa hasn't had his coffee yet. When you go over here, you go behind this section you will find a potion, just like in the original game. But this time they actually mark off that it's an item by putting it in a Pokeball. Which is how you're normally going to see items. Funny enough, Generation 3, Pokemon Coliseum and Pokemon XD should be out by this time, and in those games, the item boxes aren't shaped like Pokeballs, but they're shaped in the color and scheme of a Pokeball. Like, it's a box that has a the red top, the white bottom, and then the little Pokemon, the little symbol in the Pokeball, in the middle of the Pokeball. We cannot get over here to this NPC because we don't have several things. We don't have the access to cut down that tree, which is right to the north of him, which is this one. It says this tree looks like it should be cut down. Yeah, we don't have the ability to do that. And we have this beautiful blue water, but we cannot go across it just yet. Of course, that is in communication with meeting TMs. Trainers, tips. Battle moves are limited by their battle power points, PP. You impress your power points by taking your tired Pokemon to the Pokemon Center. That is true because all Pokemon moves require PP. That's just a thing that's always been a thing in Pokemon. Funny enough, Digimon, the other monster catching series and a favorite of mine, does not require PP, it requires MP, and then they have basic attacks, which you can just, attack your opponent. Right now, we have Oak's Parcel, and we can actually go back to Pallet Town from Viridian City. Don't worry, we'll be going back to Viridian City soon, and we'll even chat, and I'll talk more about Viridian City when we do. But now we're back to Pallet Town, and we're going to deliver Professor Oak's Parcel, just like the man in the Pokemon Center, in the Pokemon ads. Also, because we did not choose Squirtle, Squirtle would be sitting there, being cute and adorable in that Pokemon. So with that said, yeah, we have now delivered Professor Oak his parcel from the Pokemon in Viridian City. And he made mention of this. He says that he just, oh, thank you, that is the Pokeball art. Some people hinted that that might be the GS ball that he's referring to. That was only in the anime. There's no other mentions of the GS ball anywhere else in the series, except for this game, and I believe just the Kanto game. Sorry, I have to remember one to drink. Really good. It's pomegranate and blueberry juice. It's a V8. So it's got vitamins in it, it's got minerals and all that other good stuff in it that it tries to sell. Anyway, what the my damn controller? Oh, okay, there we go. So yeah, now that we've given Professor Oak this parcel, Professor Oak is now going to give us a high-tech encyclopedia. Because our mission now is, as Pokemon trainers, to collect data on Pokemon. That's right, Professor Oak wants us to go all the way around excuse me, the Kanto region and fill that bad boy up with data and information about Pokemon. It's very funny though because there's a lot of talk about the Pokédex. Every region has a different reason for its Pokédex. Everyone has a different attachment to their Pokédex. And funny enough, everyone has a different lineup of things that comes into fruition when talking about the Pokédex. I think that's awesome to talk about the Pokédex. You honestly asked me because there's so many different fruitions. Also, a big change up. Professor Oak just gave us 5 Pokeballs. In the original game, he did not do that. Fire and Leafgreen, he did. I think that's because the Pokemon Company listened to its fans. That's a rare occasion. And they decided to say, hey, let's give them their Pokeballs once they get their Pokédex. Other games will also have a tutorial to teach you how to catch Pokemon, but we'll have our tutorial very soon, and we don't even need it, but we'll do it because it's required. Just like Blue said when we were talking in Professor Oak's lab, if you come here to Daisy, Daisy will have you, she will give you this part, she'll give you a map, a town map, and it'll be in your key items. Daisy also makes pokes fun at her grandfather for being so late. But she says this will help you, even though her brother said he was going to tell her not to give you. But yeah, so, key items are another big change for Kanto, of course, because now we can put, key items in a different area, and they won't hog up the main item slots, which is great. Speaking of items, there's your item, and another feature to the Pokemon series, items can be seen. You can see what are that you're using. Gen 3's Fire Red and Leaf Green, then onward, show you what items you're using and what they mean. It was a nice upgrade to things. Funny enough, if you've watched my Pokemon Emerald livestream, Pokemon Emerald came out after Fire Red and Leaf Green. I think only a couple of months after, and included a lot of things from the Hoenn region that was definitely needed for Pokemon series. And we will do some post-game stuff as well for Pokemon Leaf Green when we get the chance. Now, since we're actually on it, we actually don't have to go talk to our mother, but we'll go see and poke our head in and we'll let your mother know you're okay. Let her know that you love her. And she loves your Pokemon too. And no, this is not Virgilia, although most people would probably say, is this Virgilia? No, this is not Ash's mom, because you are not Ash. Canonically, Ash does not exist in the Pokemon game universe. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to save. Why am I going to save? Because, well, I saved before, but I skipped a lot of the intro stuff. And instead of just going back to it again, like I said, this is a Pokemon redo, and I will be redoing everything. So, now that we have our Pokedex, we can talk about the Pokemon on every route. So that's right, we're going to do something Pokemon stuff. Because I need to keep the stuff going, guys. That's primarily why. But on Route 1, you have two choices of Pokemon you can encounter. You have Rattata, our common mon, our rat of the Pokemon series. Rattata is okay. It's a normal type Pokemon. It has pretty decent stats for your beginning common. And there's not really too spectacular about it. If you want to catch Rattata, you're more than welcome to. Pidgey, our common bird for the series, our first bird. I don't have too many negative things to say about Pidgey because it's Pidgey. Ooh, we learned CC. Cool. Our first grass type move. Anyway, Pidgey's pretty cool. Pidgey's okay. If you want a good, decent, flying type Pokemon, there are better options. And funny enough, Pidgey doesn't get a flying type move till later on as you level it up. So it is a bit of a balance. But if you do want to catch it, you're more than welcome to. I do want to note that if you want to experience share, you will have to catch or have at least 50 Pokemon in your Pokédex. At least 50 Pokemon under your possession in your Pokédex. And when you get to Professor Oak's age, they will check to see if you have it. So, well, no, it's Professor Oak. I might as well. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and catch Rattata, but we're going to go to the Pokemon. We're going to go to Pokemon and buy a couple more Pokemon. Yeah, at least Rattata got caught. And also another feature is that once you catch the Pokemon, it will show us an entry in the Pokédex. Rattata, the mouse Pokemon, gives you a weight and height and a footprint. Bite anything when it attacks. Small and very quick, it is a common sight in many places. That is actually true, and it is a reference to it being a common. And according to the other common of this group is Pidgeotto. Yeah, Pidgey together. Yeah. But yeah, funny enough, I believe in the Pokemon anime, Ash did encounter Rattata, a Spearow, and a Pidgey. He didn't catch either one of those, and as we all know, Pikachu's Thunder Bolt was the thing that resulted in taking out that flock of Spearow. It's funny enough that one Spearow that Pikachu and Ash took on became the leader of a flock and also became Spearow later on. So we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna drop off this Rattata. Because I ain't using Rattata. Unless it's HM slave stuff, but even then there are better HM slaves than Rattata. Alright, moving on from there, we're back in Viridian City. Viridian City should have a sign that says Viridian City. Oh, you know what? I think it's this one right here. Can you read it? Yep. Green City, the Eternal Green Paradise. The Eternal Green Paradise. That is because another change to it, and to make sure that things aren't blasting our eyes, is that the roofs of the homes in each of the cities here in Gen 1 are color palettes. You know, because color palettes, right? Yeah. That's the reference to things they want to make what Kanto is. So, Viridian City is the palette of green. Which is also what it was in Super Game Boy and Pokemon Go. We're going to go up to the Pokemon Mart, and we're also going to go buy some items. So now you can actually buy items once you've gotten the Pokedex from Professor Oak. Each town has its different array of items, and in generations 4 and up, they will add more items into the Pokemon Mart depending on how many badges you have. That's a new feature for generations 4 and up. So unfortunately, if you want some of those higher end items, you're gonna have to go to other cities later on in the journey, which I'll show you. And we'll be able to get those items. For now, we have Pokeball, Potion, Antidote, and Paralysis here. So I'm gonna buy 5 Antidote. We already need that for our next area of interest. I'm gonna go buy 5 Paralysis Heal. We're good on potions, but I'm gonna buy a few more Pokemon. I got 10, and we're good. Funny enough, later games, potions get cheaper, and so do Pokemon. A lot of items get cheaper later. That's also because there are other items that they'll have access to easily in later games. Like, for instance, we'll have vending machines in a lot easier access places, so we'll be able to get them. To the left of Viridian City is Route 22. In this patch of grass, you will be able to catch the Pokemon Mankey, Rattata, Pidgey, and Spearow. Spearow. And in that body of water, I believe, you will be able to encounter Poliwhirl and Magikarp. But those depend on certain other aspects of the game we haven't gotten to yet. And even though this game is like over, God, it's almost 20 years old, I spoil this shit for people who ever watch it, because sometimes people use people's live stream as well for it. So I try to keep it, little cheeks to these. But, while we're on the subject of humans here, and we're trying to catch Mankey, the monkey Pokemon. Mankey is just a really good physical attacker, so if you want to really get physical attacker on your team, Mankey is the one to go. It's an early game on as well. And fun fact, this is probably the rare chance that you'll get a fighting type this early in the game, because the rest of them are locked behind certain things that you'll have to get your progression and then certain areas. So, we're gonna go ahead and catch Mankey. Because I got the Pokedex. But, and Ash actually did catch, well, he didn't even catch the primate that came from that evolved from. That was a win. And yeah, so we have primate. Oh, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna main Mankey. The Mankey is gonna be in our party. Actually, what is Mankey? What is Mankey do? So, Mankey is a serious nature, so it's a neutral nature. It has Vital Spirit, meaning that it cannot fall asleep. Really good in attack, speed, and physical, especially defense, honestly. But very low special attack and very low defense. That's also a thing about fighting types. They tend to focus on physical attacking. Also, it has the move Scratch and Clear. Not bad. But, yeah, we're going to catch our bird in this area. Hopefully we run any soon. But my experience with Pokemon with Generation 3. I own Leafgreen. I adore Leafgreen more than I do Fire Red for some of the big changes that happened to Leafgreen. I mean, it's a really good remake of Generation 1. There are a lot of nuances to it that I don't like. Issues that I'll go into later on the more we progress through the game. Now, here's the other thing about this is that I do know people voted for this game and wanted people to play this game live. I don't know where those people are. But yeah, this is a callback to Generation 1 in every which way. While Generation 1 is not the generation I tend to frequently go back to at times when I want to play Pokemon games, it's a pretty decent hold up for Gen 3, you know, and what it does to remake Kanto. If that's a consolation for anybody, you know, it's to each his own. But yeah, this is the Kanto stuff, guys. How things fun. This how things are. And I prefer Leafgreen over Fire Red because I'll just spoil it now. Version exclusives are kind of the reason why I chose Leafgreen over Fire Red. One of them particularly is going to be a water Pokemon that's going to be on the team later on. And I was really pissed to find out in Fire Red it's not in that game because one of the things that Gen 3 did for Generation 3 remake of Kanto is that they decided we're going to switch up things by moving certain Pokemon around. While Generation 1 already had the different Pokemon being exclusives, they decided they were going to do more things and switch more Pokemon around and make them more exclusive. So it was just like a big ass slap in the face when I found out that Fire Red did not have Starmie or Staryu. It has Shoulder and Cloyster. Pokemon I don't use. I will encounter, I will defeat, but I won't use them. Because literally, there are just, funny enough, Kanto in terms of water Pokemon, there are better options. Spearow! The tiny sparrow Pokemon, or the sparrow Pokemon. Funny enough, Spearow is probably one of the two out of the fires that you'll get access that will actually have a flying type move upon catching. Spearow's name in Japanese is Spearhead. That is actually a reference to the legendary Britney Spears, who was actually one of the casters for the Pokemon game before it came out worldwide. And she actually does recall a lot of this Spearow, the tiny bird Pokemon, and eats bugs in grassy areas. It has to flop its short wings at high speed to stay airborne. I do believe ours is a girl, and I'm actually going to name it Scary in reference to Britney Spears. S-E-E-A-R-Y. There we go, Scary. So yeah, Speary will be on the team for a while because Speary's going to be probably one of those kids for third that actually has some pretty good stats attached to it till we get our other bird, which we won't get till later on in this in Kanto and in the Livestream series. But yeah, Britney Spears, there is an homage to her in the Pokemon series. Well, I know homages to a lot of famous people, famous landmarks, famous musicians, and stuff like that in the Pokemon series, whether it's Pokemon or it happens to be names or stuff like that. Because funny enough, Gene Simmons, the lead vocalist for Kiss, there's a reference to him in Generation 8 in forms of Pokemon Dragoon, who actually looks like a rocked out version of Gene Simmons, and he was actually really cool about the situation. Since we're thinking of people in terms of likeness and things, we do have to bring up Aaron Universe. For those who don't know what that reference, who is, well, if you're a Pokemon fan, you know who this fan is. And you've loved him for the last 20 years. If you're not a Pokemon fan and you don't know why we've loved this man for the last 20 years, Aaron Universe is a famous magician. He was the magician who made the whole bending spoon thing, and many other little tricks a thing. Funny enough, Kadabra in Japanese is named Younger, which was a reference to Aaron Younger. He sued the Pokemon company and told them that he did not want them to use his likeness of the craft in which he apparently trademarked of bending spoon, which was something that was a gimmick for psychic type Pokemon in the Alakazam one. So because of this, after Generation 3, you rarely saw Kadabra. Yeah, we're not even joking. You rarely saw Kadabra. And because of this, they skipped Abra or they went straight into Alakazam. As of a few years ago, Aaron Younger decided to let go of his bullshit restraint, and people were able, and now Pokemon Company is able to go ahead and make cards and merchandise to focus on Kadabra. Which I wish they would have just used those names instead of using the names of famous musicians, because Abra in Japanese is named Cassie after Case's Forest, which I believe is another magician, another world famous magician, which I've never seen. And then Fujin, which is Alakazam, is the name to Waichi Fujin, who is another famous magician. I think he's from Asia, if I'm not mistaken. Don't worry, someone will probably let me know soon about my other. But yeah, Casey, Younger, and Fooded. And no, I'm not even joking, it's actually literally spelled Fooded. Foodin. Fooded. And yeah, I will be using Kadabra on the team because that is, you know, as close as I can get to Alexander, I can. So yeah, if you guys remember my Gen 1 playthrough, I did have a Kadabra and I did have a Starmie on the team. They're still going to be on the team. But yeah, well, that was really just a bit of history there, because I know a lot of people were active. And it's part of the reasons why, like I said, when I come back to Generation 3, I'm only playing Leafgreen, not playing Fire Red, because I'm not too happy about how things changed later on in the series. And version exclusive to the Starmie, when Generation 3, almost every other game, gave you a way to get Staryu with ease, it's a really fucking but, oh, we finally learned moves, finally. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about that. Bulbasaur learns moves. Pokemon can learn moves sporadically without leveling up. Bulbasaur at level 7 learns the move Leech Seed. Leech Seed, 0 power, 90 accuracy, grass type move. A seed is planted on the foe and steals the HP of the user every turn. Vine Whip, which we just learned at level 10, grass type move. 35 power, 100% accuracy. A foe is stricken with either a slender or a whip-like bump. Yeah, a really good signature grass type move. And sadly enough, one of two of the only grass type moves Bulbasaur would have learned in Gen 1 that it was not attached to defense. Fun fact about Leech Seed. In Generation 1, Leech Seed had a weird algorithm where it would steal more speed if the Pokemon was under the effect of not only Leech Seed, but Poison Powder. Yeah, that is one of the new things that thankfully they changed in later gens with a lot of the hiccups that Generation 1 had. Now that our friend is at level 10, I also want to fair mention that there will be some changes to Bulbasaur and Squirtle at this point as well. Bulbasaur will learn, Squirtle will learn Withdraw at this point to buff its own defense. And then I believe at level 10 or 11, it will learn Water Gun, being its signature water type. Its stab move. And for those who don't know, a stab move is a reference to shortening the phrase same type attack bonus. Meaning that if a Pokemon uses a move and it is the same type as that Pokemon, they will gain bonus, there will be bonuses added to when it does damage, as well as applying weaknesses in resistance. And say for instance, my grass type Bulbasaur using Violet will have more damage than my grass type Bulbasaur using Tackle. Because why? Bulbasaur's Tackle is not the same type as it. As Tackle being normal and Tackle being normal and Violet being grass, you'll get more damage and output out of Violet on a grass type than you would have Tackle. Stat moves have always been in the Pokemon series. They've been there since the first generation. And oh boy, do they get crazier because this is the last game, the last couple of games in the series, to feature the basis of what Pokemon moves are. So, Pokemon types were split into two. You had your physical types and you had your special types. Meaning Pokemon who did really good physical damage, but not specializing well in physical attack. Excuse me. The special attackers who tend to have type based on special attack. So I can give you the lineup of those right now. If you are of these types, grass, water, fire, electric, ice, psychic, and dragon, you were left in the special group, meaning that your type advantage is based on special stats, and your moves are all special quality. If you are of all the types that I didn't name, which are bug, rock, ground, steel, dark. Oh no, I'm sorry, I have to reiterate that. I'm sorry, there's one word missing from that special category, and that's dark, and I'll explain that in just a minute. But if you're steel, bug, fighting, poison, rock, ground, flying, bug, you're all, in normal, you're all categorized in what is called the physical attack type. So those are Pokemon who typing are of those in that category, and they are physical attack. Then dark type, which is supposed to be a weakness to psychic. But however, it's still special, meaning that most of the dark type moves, if your Pokemon specializes in special stats, like special defense, your dark type move, which is supposed to be based on special, is not going to be counted as special. Oh, I also forgot to mention Ghost. Ghost is a physical type in Gens 1 through 3. Yeah, from Generation 1 all the way to Gen 3, those are what specialize what type of moves your moves were. And for instance, the move Flame Wheel, which sounds like a physical move, is actually counted as a special move because fire, being type, is a specialist type, meaning that it is going to be focusing on a special move. So unfortunately, there are a lot of fire type Pokemon who don't really specialize in physical attacking that unfortunately get the shit end of the stick. I'm looking at you, Flareon and Growlithe, because that is really sad how they get Flareon and Growlithe. Not too much with Ninetales, because Ninetales is a really good trickster, but yeah, Growlithe couldn't really get the shit of the stick, and it really does suck. But luckily Generation 4 fixed it by doing the physical social stick, meaning that if you're a physical attacker, then you'll have moves that you can learn or set up for a physical attack type, and then those for those who special attack, and those who are just mixed attackers, or those who are really good in being walls and all those other neat things. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff that has to be very surrounded with the Pokemon series. Oh my god, my damn controller. Thank you. So, alright, now we have that bit of information and stuff out of the way. Did I kill the Pokemon very well? Yeah, I did. Okay, so... excuse me. We can go talk to the old man. Who unfortunately wants to sit there and be a grumpy ass. And not move. Well, now he should have moved because now some time has passed. He talks to his granddaughter. She says, I go shopping with Peter occasionally. I have to take the windy trail of Virgin Forest when I go. Then we talk to the old man. He says, no now. I had my coffee and I think I need to get going. What is that red box you have? Oh, you're working on the Pokédex. Here, let me give you a word of advice. When you're catching Pokemon, the Pokédex automatically updates its data. You don't know how to catch Pokemon? I suppose I'll be the better to show you. So, just like in Generation 1, the old man here will be able to help you, teach you how to catch Pokemon. Fun fact, in Generation 1, if you're playing red, blue, or green, this will be part of the glitch that will allow you to encounter missing nodes. I won't go too much into Missing No, as we won't be able to encounter Missing No in this game. But yeah, I'll talk about some of the things and references that talk about Missing No. Well, it could potentially make for later gens if they did keep that in the remakes of Generation 1. But with that said, a nuance to Generation 1 is this. He gives you what's called a Teachy TV. It is something, if there's something you don't understand, and watch that. It will teach you about the basis of being a Pokemon trainer. And he's actually not lying. The Techie TV, oh, for the love of Christ. Thank you. The Techie TV, which is right here, it looks like a little portable, it's a portable TV. And if you use it, it says it will have different things to let you know about how to be a Pokemon trainer. I think the more you progress, the more it will show you. Also, the town map. This is how the town map looks now. And of course, this is just your array of Kanto. So right now we are here in Viridian City. To the north, Route 2, we have Viridian Forest, we have Diglett's Cave, and we have Pewter City. So our next destination will actually be Pewter Gym in Pewter City. Awesome, because that thing said Pewter Gym in Pewter City. So yeah, we'll be going to visit Pewter City soon, but we're not going to leave too far. There are a couple things that I want to do. I believe this says exploring. Alright. The more you battle, the more you have, the easier it is to battle. Alright. And read the sign here, Route 2, Viridian Forest to Pewter City. Viridian City to Pewter City. Alright. But yeah, welcome to the remix of the Route theme. The first of Route themes in Generation 1. There are no differences here in Common, there's still Pidgey and Pidgeotto. But the reason why I'm here actually is because I want to train up Spiri before we actually go fully into the next dungeon. Because, oh, there's Pidgeotto. Well, there's Pidgey. Pidgeotto. And Pidgey basically another early bird Pokemon that you have the access to. Funny enough, Pidgey does not learn any of its flying type moves till later on, so full typing of normal and flying. Fun fact about the flying type is that flying is not initially called flying in the Japanese version. In the Japanese game, in Japanese setup, it is called bird type. Or actually, no, I take that back. It was supposed to be named bird type. And if you actually go and talk to, in Generation 2, if you go and talk to, what is her name? Just remember her name, Joe. Winona, the Fort Tree City Gym leader. Before you battle her, she will say she's going to defeat you with her elegant and graceful bird-type Pokemon. Yeah, because they wanted to make a reference to her having birds in her team. Well, of course, a flying type. And because they had already named it flying type, it was a typo reference that they just never took out because majority of her team, well, are bird Pokemon. So she has Skarmory, she has Quelo, she has Altaria. The only thing I think is a bit different is that she has Tropius on her team, who is a flying type, but it's not a bird. And who else? And Swablu, but Swablu is already a flying type, so that kind of fits the normality of who she is. Also the factor that she's the 6th gym leader and she's the bird specialist. I heard a lot of people, Winona was actually a really hard battle for them. I feel very sorry for you guys if Winona was difficulty. I guess primarily because of just the selection of Pokemon types that were in that region, so you probably weren't able to get a lot of them. But hopefully, you know, the Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire helped you in terms of what it was as a remake. I'm sure many people did enjoy that, because I sure did. Alright, with that said, we're going to go back to this route. We're going to train our Pokemon. I actually don't remember what the speed up feature was, so yeah. You gotta kill some dead air, guys. Alright, so I was also talking about my little history with Generation 1. So I believe Gen 1's remake came out around the time I was in high school. Because middle school, high school, so it wasn't too far before Gen 4 came out, and a lot of people were very excited about Gen 4 because a lot of leaks and stuff that came out about Gen 4, and oh my god, I was so ready for Gen 4, because at that point, I was so over Gen 1, Gen 3, it wasn't even for me. I was like, oh my god, I'm ready to leave Kanto, I'm ready to leave, I'm ready to leave Kanto, I want to go back to Hoenn, and then I didn't need to go back to Hoenn because Diamond and Pearl had came out. I think about 2005, 2006 was Diamond and Pearl. I think Platinum was 2008, and about 2010 we got a yeah, cause there was a nice gap at that point. So yeah, about 2010 we ended up getting our friends for we ended up doing some stuff for Generation 3. So yeah, there's a lot of nuances, there's a lot of things that we definitely appreciate about Gen 4. I know Gen 4's remake fixed a lot more things, but also had a lot more things that shouldn't have been fixed. Yeah, things happen. Things definitely happen. And yeah, Gen 1 did get another remake, if those who didn't know. Gen 3's remake, Gen 1's remake was Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu. It was supposed to be paying homage to Generation 1's yellow version, which actually split it into what we can consider saying a yellow and a brown version, because if you play Eevee's version, Let's Go Eevee, then you're starting off with Eevee and your opponent is starting off with Pikachu, meaning that they will have Raichu at the end when they battle you. I can't say what the compilations are in terms of Eevee, but I believe for what people told me is that depending on what battles you win against the rival, that will determine what the outcome of the Eevee's evolution is later on. And I believe it does depend on the Pokemon that you with, because it'll help you fill out the Pokedex, but there should be ways to fill out the Pokedex for Eevee's evolutions if you haven't already seen Bill at that point. Yeah, it is a lot of stuff that was changed within the realm of the game, which, for better or for worse, if you ask me. So, alright, hit that level 5. Nice. Well, yeah. A lot of nuances and a lot of things, and I mean, like I said, I don't hate Gen 3 remake of Gen 1. I just wish it could be a lot better with a lot of the things that were going on with Gen 1. For instance, Wooful is going to be shit. I'm just going to say that right now. If I have to, I will emulate the money to get other TMs, especially the ones that are in the Game Corner. Because Game Corner TMs are still Thunderbolt, Flamethrower, Ice Beam, and Psychic. So those are definitely the ones that I will be taking advantage of. I do believe, excuse me, if I'm not mistaken, Shadow Ball should be there as well. So definitely something else I want to take advantage of. In terms of Pokemon teams, I have a couple of ideas of who I want on the team. So there's not going to be too many issues there. If that does happen to something, people are questioning. Joey got that already planned out. I think in just a few minutes we'll learn Lear. Nice. Awesome. As I guess it's 7. Alright. Well, there should be enough fodder for skill. Yeah, I keep running at 90. The other thing about Generation 1, now that we've reached the 1 hour mark, or past the 1 hour mark, the music changes, you know, all the stuff. Basically, everything that they wanted to add in the Kanto, they got a chance to add here. that they could add in the original game. So Toy Iwata. I always bring this man's name up when I talk about Pokemon, because up until I want to say Generation 6, is when Iwata had his hands in Pokemon to help Pokemon get things together, because Pokemon Company kind of sucks at getting its own stuff together. I'm just going to say that right now. There are a lot of things that they could have done better, and they chose not to. And thanks to Iwata, things did get better in terms of that. Mr. Iwata was a great man, and I say was because unfortunately Mr. Iwata passed away about 2014 or 2015. Mr. Iwata was the man responsible for why Generation 2 is in a shithole, as it more of a shithole than it is now. He crunched Kanto literally into Generation 2 and was hoping that in hopes of making it better. When Wii U flopped, Iwata cut his own salary to give workers money to make it through, because unfortunately the Wii U did shit. And that is an unfortunate thing, is that they had a lot of hopes on the Wii U, kind of similar to how they had a lot of hopes on the GameCube. And the GameCube flopped. Yeah, I know, right? The GameCube flopped, considering how good titles and stuff were on the GameCube. It was actually Iwata and Reggie that were the reason why a lot of third-party companies decided, okay, well, we'll go ahead and work with Nintendo, because at that point, Nintendo was like, if you're not going to make a game for us, then we don't want a game. And that was really killing Nintendo's market, because a lot of your competitors are starting to have games that used to be featured on your system. Like, for instance, some of you may not notice, but originally Final Fantasy was not on the PlayStation. It was actually on Nintendo. It was on the NES and the Super Nintendo. And by the time Final Fantasy VII came around, Final Fantasy VII was supposed to be on the 64, but there was a lot of issues behind the scenes between Nintendo and Square said, we're leaving, and we're going to take our game to another company, and they said, go for it, who's going to take you? And then Sony said, we'll take you, and Sony did. So Sony PlayStation said, hey, we got a new feature of our first a major RPG series, and that was Final Fantasy VII. So FF7 would have been on the GameCube, and actually I'm quite curious how it would have ran on the 64. And I think Quest 64 was just them saying, okay, well, if we can't have Final Fantasy, we'll just have Final Fantasy here. I do believe the Game Boy Color, or the Game Boy games, had Final Fantasy games. So, was it Final Fantasy Legends? 1, 2, and 3 were all on there, and I believe they're also on the Switch. So if you ever want to get a chance to play some of the old school Final Fantasy games, there you go. I mean, you can also still play a lot of the 3D games from Final Fantasy, because Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 2, and 12 are all on the Switch. They're actually now all multi-platform. So if you're someone who wants to play the original version of Final Fantasy 7, you want to play the Zodiac Age, which is the remake of Final Fantasy, which is a revision of Final Fantasy 12. You want to experience the PlayStation era with Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9. You can do that on your Switch, Xbox, and your Steam library, because that's where all the games are. And fun fact, if I'm not mistaken, Final Fantasy 13, 13-2, 13, Lightning 3, Lightning's Return, and Final Fantasy 14, and Final Fantasy 15, and Final Fantasy 7 Remake are all there on Steam. So if you guys want to play that, I definitely recommend you getting Steam. In addition to that, they made this news just a few days ago. The Final Fantasy 1 through 6, the Pixel remasters, are going to be on the Switch. I'm very indifferent. Oh, no, I'm not indifferent. I don't care for the Pixel remasters. I have a lot of reasons why I don't care for Pixel remasters. And one of the major reasons is because these are just very polished looks to the original game. There's no difference from what they originally were. And that bugs me, because as someone who played a lot of those older Final Fantasy games, I actually experienced them through the GBA version or the DS versions of those games, which were the better variations of the games. Like anything from Square that was during the 2000s and up for the classic Final Fantasy games are what I would recommend people playing for Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy is okay. Like if you want better versions of Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So for Final Fantasy 1, I would say PSP or GBA Dawn of Souls. Final Fantasy 2, same thing. Final Fantasy 3 has its GBA version, its PSP version, and its 3D version, which is the one that was featured for the DS. While it is a little harder in terms of the DS version, the updates to those have the better mechanics and stuff, and I would definitely take those over what we got in the Pixel Remaster. And funny enough, I think those versions are still up if you look hard enough on iOS and Android, because they did port all of the Final Fantasy games till about 9 to the Game Boy. I mean, to iOS and Android. So if you want to see those, I definitely recommend them as well. Although the character sprites for 5 and 6 are going to be shitty depending on who you talk to, because I love the sprite for 6, because 6 is one of my favorites. And for 6, I recommend the GBA version or the iOS and Android version. Although most people would shit on the special dungeons, I love the special dungeons because I love replaying those types of games where I'm playing an RPG and I can rematch certain bosses and certain events and stuff. I definitely go for those. It's kind of the reason why I like Pokemon so much, because there are a lot of Pokemon games that you can go and rematch or rebattle gym leaders, champions, and stuff like that. So definitely something there. Final Fantasy 4, PSP, actually the DS version is a little harder than the PSP version because I heard they changed some of the layouts and algorithms for bosses. But PSP version is a thing. I definitely would recommend the PSP version if you don't want to get your shit back. Final Fantasy 5, GBA version, iOS or Android or PSP. And I'm sorry, there is no PSP version. Yeah. Final Fantasy 5 and 6 did not get the PSP treatment. They went straight to Android and iOS. So if you want to play those are either GBA or iOS and Android. And I do prefer those versions over the Pixel Remasters. And I'm very upset with Pixel Remaster of Final Fantasy 6 because there are nuances in 6's advanced version and iOS and Android version that you said, Square, you took out the game. I cannot speak for certain events because I do believe someone did say that you can save after you beat Kefka so that you can keep the Lightbringer, which is a sword. No, I'm sorry, Ragnarok, which is a sword you can get, and that you can go bet the sword in the Illumina, which is the best sword in vanilla Final Fantasy VI, which is a buff target stat. So I don't know if that's still a thing. If that is a thing, yay. But you leave out the Soul Shrine, the Dragon's Den, and a lot of the other stuff that was supposed to go with those in terms of, as well as Espers that are missing from the end, which I think are a very crucial point because those Espers are really amazing in Final Fantasy VI. And those Espers also allow you to not have to do other things with other Espers. I'm looking at you writing from Odin. So stupid. That's why I never changed my Odin. My Odin stayed Odin did not become writing. And I learned what writing would have taught me from Gilgamesh. So, suck it. Suck it hard. And I don't even believe that it changes anything in your alphabet, which is also there. It was like, oh, this magic type changes from Odin to writing. I'm like, well, what if I didn't want to change it over? You said that became a room. It's like, oh, well, I guess I won't be going there. And luckily enough, I learned that, playing through the Final Fantasy VI from SGB, so when it changed from Elden Ring, it never happened on my game. Because why? I wasn't about to have that. I was not about to do it. And I was very happy because I finally beat Final Fantasy 6. Because, funny fact, if you watch my Final Fantasy 6 live stream, I fell asleep during the Bible chapter. When I woke up, Edgar and Sabin were there, and I was like, where is Rowan and Terra? Because Celeste was just there by herself. And then to find out, they died. I was like, oh, damn it. Yeah, Mother Rose had died. My Charlie angels were just one angel. And she was hanging on to their life. I think because of a nervous gesture in the carrier hood. No, there was a nervous gesture. And something else made Celeste not die to catch them. So I was very happy about that. But also sad because I think Locke had died too, and I needed Locke to steal. So luckily he still Illumina from the tier 2, I mean the tier before we fought Casper. So I was able to save the game after and keep my Ragnarok in bed. There's also an ultimate weapon that was also there that you can steal. An ultimate weapon is broken because you do Genji shield. So you do Genji gloves with the offering. You give it to someone that's holding the ultimate weapon. The ultimate weapon does max damage. Or does decent, does normal damage. It won't happen after with the due to the offering. So very amazing blow up for that situation. And that's why I said I don't recommend the Pixel Remasters, because the only thing they did was, hey look, we changed the graphics. But we still kept a lot of the arcade things. Like, I don't like the MP charge situation, for one. Like, I lose 1 bar, or I lose X amount of bars depending on how strong the spell is, not just using my MP. So, that's why I'd rather play the GBA version of Final Fantasy 1 than play the iOS version of Final Fantasy 1, or playing the Pixel Remastered 1. I think I got my money back from that though. Super Controller, after what happened with Pixel Remastered. Because the Pixel Remastered tried, if I'm not mistaken, the Pixel Remasters, what is the other one? Oh my god, I don't know what it's on. I'm having issues with my laptop. I might have to restart my laptop after this shit. So, yeah, that's something I'm gonna have to do. Cause I don't know what's going on with my laptop. It keeps cutting on and cutting off. And I don't know why. Like, the screen is just blacking out. But everything else is still working perfectly. Oh, it's never my controller. Yeah. I hate this so much. I wonder what we're all doing is something that is coming up in just a minute, because we have an optional battle with our rival that I want to show off. It's not mandatory, but it's something you can do. And funny enough, if you're playing yellow version, it will determine what Pokemon your rival will have later on in the game. But I don't think it's this one. I think it's all the other battles after this supposed one. Because this one you can't do after you got your badge from Brock. So, spoilers, Brock's in the end. And Misty. So, alright. So yeah, let's go ahead and make our way back to let's make our way back over here. And yeah. So just like in Generation 1, if you go here and try to go through Pokemon League, he'll tell you that can't, but he wants to see if your Pokemon is stronger. And we have a battle against our rival Blue. He's in now Pinky, level 9. Keen Eye first ability, so its accuracy will be lowered. With the moves Tackle, Gust, and Sand Attack. So yeah, Pidgey is who he's going to be using as his bird for good playthrough. There is no changes indicating that he will use a Spearow, ironically enough, and Subclass. Alright, we're gonna switch to Bulbasaur, and we're gonna take on Charmander, who's gonna be level 10. Charmander, level 10, Blaze for its ability. Oh no, level 9, Blaze for its ability. With the moves Scratch, Growl, and I believe Smoke Screen. If you have Squirtle, you'll have Bulbasaur, who will have Leaf Seed, and if you're playing Charmander, he'll have Squirtle, who will have Tailwind. So you're lucky enough here that yes, Pokemon does not have a stat move. Later did. In terms of rivals, we'll fix that to where their Pokemon will have stat moves. Luckily enough, that's not the case. I need to blow my nose. Alright. Scratch me all you want, but I took you down. Alright, and that is Blue defeated. And if you're playing Yellow version, you'll have Eevee. But I believe Quick Attack, no, Tackle Attack, Sand Attack, and Tailwind. So yeah, he just tells you about Pokemon League, there are a lot of strong trainers, and they won't let you in if you don't have a patch. So, alright. No items here. There's a patch of water here, and their Pokemon, I believe, are Goldeen, Poliwag, and Magikarp. But if you read this here, Pokemon League, front gate. And we have to enter the league gate, but that's as far as we can go. Because when we walk in, when we approach this man, he says, only truly skilled trainers are allowed here. You don't even have the Boulder Badge yet. Rules are rules, can't let you pass. So, yeah, we cannot continue on to the Pokemon League without badges. Alright, and we're not going to do that select section, so we can't select. Right? Yeah. What a great way to start the first half with a redo, huh? Alright, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to go north now. We're going to look at our Pokemon and go north to Viridian Forest to get to Peachtree City. So we can go get our Boulder Badge, which is our first badge that we get in Kanto. Alright. Alright. Alright, Pokemon team is filled up. Oh, what we're doing before we go is, yes, Viridian City has a gym. Fun fact, there's no information about the gym except for the gym. When you talk to this guy here, he says the Pokemon gym is always closed. I wonder who the leader is. Yeah, you cannot enter the Viridian gym because as he stated, oh wow, I didn't even do that. As he stated, you cannot enter because the doors are closed. Why? Because the gym leader is not there. Yep, Viridian gym doors are locked. And they push you down. Yeah, you cannot enter. So, alright. Now we go north to Pewter City. And we actually get to go to our first major dungeon. The Viridian Forest. Let's say Pewter Forest. Viridian Forest. That item we won't get till later on. But talk to these NPCs here. Rattata may be small, but don't underestimate its wicked bite. Have you caught one already? Are you going to Viridian Forest? It's a natural maze in there. Be careful not to get lost. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Viridian Forest. And something new in the features of the Pokemon series, they gave you these visual icons to see what Pokemon to see the different places. So, I came here with some friends so we can catch some bug Pokemon. They're all itching to get some Pokemon battles. Alright, and that is a youngster character model. But welcome to Viridian Forest. We got Bug, Bird, and rat. There are items placed here in the Meridian Forest, so take a chance to get them. Excuse me. So when I said bug, bird, rat, I meant Caterpie, pure bug type. It is a really cool Pokemon. Has a really good evolution, and I one-shotted it because I made so many higher levels in it. But same type tag bonus from that pet because PG is a blind type. But yeah, Caterpie and its evolution, Metapod, can be found here in Viridian Forest. If you are playing Leafgreen, you have a higher encounter rate with Caterpie and Metapod. However, if you're playing the red version, its opposite will be Weedle and Kakuna, who have a lower encounter rate than what we would have here with Metapod and speaking of which, guys, Kakuna, bug poison Pokemon. Sadly enough, the cocoons that we will encounter in this series, they only have Harpie for their abilities. Luckily enough, later gens give the cocoon Pokemon more stuff to them. Like I have a new bug bite, which is really good. Weedle, bug poison. Weedle here has the ability Poison Point, where if we had touched Weedle with a physical move, Weedle would have poisoned us. It's I believe a 30% chance, so there's really not too much to worry about. It's a 30% chance you can be poisoned. Another thing about Weedle is it's the first of the bugs to be dual typed. Funny enough, Caterpie and Metapod are pure bugs, while Weedle isn't. So that is something to know. Bug Pokemon are strong against grass type, but luckily we're taking normal damage because why? Our buddy here, Bulbasaur, is bug poison. It's poison grass. So it will not be taking damage, double damage from bug, because bug eats plants. That's why bug is strong. Bug is a weakness of grass type. And nice shot, we popped that Weedle first down. So Weedle's entry will be in Pokédex next to Evolution Kakuna. Weedle, the hairy bug Pokemon, is often found in the forest. Eating leaves, it has a sharp stinger on its head that will inject poison. Fun fact, if you in the anime, there's always a random encounter with Weedle, and it's never a good one because sooner or later you'll encounter Kakuna, its evolution. And with Kakuna, there are Beedrill. Beedrill is Kakuna's evolution, and Beedrill is a very big bug. I would not want to run into Beedrill in the dark alley, so or leave my window open in the Pokemon series unless I had a Pokemon who can take on Beedrill. Funny enough, I believe they said Beedrill only really live in the forest, so you don't have anything to really worry about in urban settings, unless they're like urban Pokemon, like Rattata and stuff that would have fallen into your crevices of your home. Where has that ever happened in this series? I know it has, I'm sorry. There have been those instances where Pokemon have rampaged into someone's home and stuff like that. So, Kakuna here, running away and catch Kakuna. Kakuna's only move is Harden, which raises its physical defense. Because its defense is going up, that is because it is really Harden. Which upon evolution of level 7, Weedle will learn Harden, and so will Caterpie into Metapod. So, yeah, those are cool. And funny enough, if you remember the NPCs told you to keep antidotes on you, yeah, that's because of Weedle. Because Weedle's poison sting it has a chance of poisoning you as well. What nature do I have? Ooh, an adamant nature. I got lucky on the first go. Adamant nature means that through evolution, Weedle's attack will go up, but its special attack will go down. And funny enough, the special attack is its level stat. So, that's actually pretty good on the Weedle. And just to note, there are some Pokemon who specialize in better stats. sadly enough, no, actually good enough, because if it's typing Poison Bug, it will be really good as a physical attacker. Too bad there are better bugs later on that I can easily get, and some of them I will actually be trying to go for. Sadly enough, I can't just keep fucking killing Caterpie. But I would love to go for either a timid or a modest-natured Caterpie, because Caterpie, upon its full evolution, will become Butterfree. And I believe Butterfree will learn confusion upon its evolution, so that's a good thing. Who's good at anything? I'm gonna catch this string shot. On the move Caterpie and we don't learn. It reduces the speed of the Pokemon that is battling. Pretty decent slow down move. Caterpie, the learned Pokemon. Its short feet are tipped with suction pads that allow it to enable it to tirelessly climb slopes and walls. And that is Caterpie in our party. Bashful nature, so neutral. That's fine. Too bad about its typing though, because Bug is going to be physical in this gen, and Silver Wind, which is a move Butterfree can learn, sadly enough, it's not going to be too helpful to it. Because it's a really good special move, but it's Bug type. So, yeah, it's going to suck. Hold on, I'm just going my nose. Myself for a minute. Okay, I'm back. Actually, I want to make sure the stream is going. But as a stream pause? Oh my god, it did. Come on. Hold on, let me refresh my stream. No, it hasn't. So I've been talking this whole time, but I've been having issues. Oh my god, I cannot believe this. Really? I don't know what's going on with Steam Labs, but hold on. I'm gonna stop the stream and I'm gonna be right back.